Yes, and hello and welcome to my Let's Play of Dragon Age Origins. As you can hear my voice. That's kind of a surprise, I guess, because I'd never published any Let's Play with my voice before, so this will be a first. So yeah, the thing is, I actually purchased, or actually I got a present, this new microphone which sits in front of me. And this is the reason why I now try to record some Let's Plays with my voice. Yeah. We're gonna play Dragon Age Origins, which I have played before, maybe like 7 or 8 years ago. But yeah, I don't remember that much anymore, so it will also be a bit new to me again. What we're gonna do is we're gonna play everything. Not just the main game, but also add-ons, and there we have it. Here we have it here. We play add-ons like the Dragon Age Awakening add-on and small DLCs like these ones. Dragon Age Awakening will be another 15 hours up to the... Actually, I'm not sure how much time it will take us to play Dragon Age Origins. Maybe 60, 70, 80 hours. I guess we will see. Awakening should take like 15, 20 hours, and the other ones only like 2 hours. But we'll get to these after the main game. I already tried a bit in when I was playing a bit around with the recordings. I already made it play. I played like a few minutes and made one save, but we're not gonna resume that, obviously. We're gonna start a new game. Yes. Here you can see, actually, yeah, because this is like an expansion, a really big one, you can actually play this as a normal new game, but we're gonna play the main game, of course. Shut up, because there will be like a video in the beginning.
The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. The Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
And there we are in the character creation screen. So we had this little video where we get the explanation of what this world is about, and yeah, there is something called a blight upon us. These Darkspawn, as they are called, they are coming out of their holes from the underworld, and they're trying to overtake Dalish, which is the world in which we're living in. Yeah. So let's start with the character creation. The background you select will determine which of 6 distinct opening stories you play through. It also affects how characters respond to you throughout the game. Yeah, this is exactly what it says. We have 6 different backgrounds, which are 6 stories, which are like 2-3 hours long. Yeah, I said I played this game before, like 7-8 years ago. And back then I played as a human, noble, I think a warrior if I remember correctly, but I don't know exactly anymore. This time around I want to play an elf, a Danish elf, but we get to this. So obviously you can play male or female. I'm male, so I'm gonna stick with the male one. We do have 3 playable races, which are human, elf and dwarf. It's a bit much to read through, so I'm just gonna explain it a little bit. There are other races in Thedas like Kunari, something of a beast race, but actually, yeah, they are kind of humanoids, but grey skin and horns. We're gonna encounter some of them in the game. And a Var, for example, but I think we're also gonna meet them there. But in this game you can only choose one of those 3 races, so... A human, I don't have to explain. I mean, we all are humans, so... The only thing you have, for example here, something important, racial benefits, you get pluses for your attributes for strength, dexterity, magic and cunning. I'm gonna explain these later when we are in the character creation for the attributes, but basically strength is for warriors, dexterity is for rogues, magic is for mages, and cunning is also for rogues. Mostly, at least. Yeah. Elves, I mean, they're basically known from all fantasy games or movies, same as dwarves. So, what you have seen here now when I clicked on here, there's one class which you cannot play, which is the mage when you are a dwarf. This is due to the fact that dwarves, they simply cannot do magic in this in this world, in the world of Dragon Age, in Thedas. They just don't possess the ability. That's the lore, and yeah, keep it that way. Elves, yeah, they get +2 in willpower and +2 in magic, so if you play as an elf, it would be beneficial if you're playing as a mage. And a dwarf, +1 strength, +1 dexterity, +2 constitution, which is also good for warrior, same as strength, and 10% chance to resist hostile magic. This is kind of the thing you get because you cannot do magic, but at least you're a little bit more resistant to magic. At least hostile magic. Yeah, let me go to the human first again, because then you can see more of the classes. There's Borea, which fights with either sword and shield or with a two-handed sword. In this game you can actually play whatever you want, but this is the main the kind of weapons you should use if you want to make use of your attributes. If you want, you could basically also choose like two one-handed swords and play kind of a rogue style, but it would work as well. And there's the mage who only has a staff, but he can also like wield a sword or something if you want to play like something like a battle mage, for example. And then there's the rogue, who can usually play with two daggers or bow and arrow. Okay, so let's go to the backgrounds. If you're human, warriors and rogues can only be human noble. So you kind of you have like a kind of a castle. I mean, your family has a castle. This is where you start your game. I did this kind of story. I did this story like the first time I played Dragon Age. So this is not what I'm going to play now. And if you play as a mage, you will start in the Circle of Magi, which is basically a school for mages. There's no other option, because in the world of Thedas, if you are a human mage, you are brought to the Circle of Magi because the people in Thedas, they are afraid of mages. If you're not in the Circle of Magi, you're basically how do you say this, like well, bad person, maybe someone who's robbing someone, killing people. At least that's what people think if they see a mage running outside who's not in the Circle of Magi. Yeah. To the elves. The elves have two separate stories. One is like a Dalish elf. The Dalish are elves which are in the forest. They live in the forest and are like consider themselves as true elves. They are like in the nature, living in tribes actually. So yeah. Can also be a city elf, which is basically like an elf who is living in the city, usually working under some human lord. Not really good state, but you're like more like a, how do you say this, like a slave kind of. This is for warrior and for rogue. You also could play a mage, for example. Then you had Circle of Magi. In the lore, you could technically also be a Dalish elf mage, because they have elves in their tribes, but they don't have that many elves. So like if they have, the thing is like they are only allowed a few mages in their tribes. If there are too many, they have to cast them out. Usually they go to other tribes. I don't think they would ever go to Circle of Magi unless you are a city elf and you are a mage. Then they would send you to the Circle of Magi. Yeah, the last thing would be the dwarf. They also have two different background stories. One would be a dwarf commoner, and one would be a dwarf noble. I haven't played those yet. I don't know the story. Something I would like to change in the future. Since these stories are just a few hours long, maybe I'm gonna play this in the future as well. As I said before, you cannot be a mage, so Circle of Magi backstory is not possible as a dwarf. So, as I said, we're gonna play as an elf. We're gonna play as a warrior, and we're gonna be a Dalish elf, not a city elf, a Dalish elf. Dalish elf. Proud of your role as one of the few true elves, you have always assumed you would spend your life with your tribe, until a chance encounter with a relic of your people's past threatens to tear you away from everything you have ever known. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna play. Yeah, you just heard him speak, and it's actually just a few words that can the main character can speak. Um, we can choose that at the end. But it's basically just talking when, for example, is picking something up or seen a trap or something of that sort. But we have some presets here. Yeah, I think I'll just keep the first one and then go ahead from that one. Could be like very old and ugly. Actually, just the complexion so ugly. Yeah, we'll keep the first one. Skin tone, very dark. Elevator lights. I'll keep it very low. Tattoo. There are some options. The Dalish elves usually have tattoos. They're not the same. They're not from the tribe. I think every Dalish elf has a different kind of tattoo. I think I will just keep the very first one, yeah. This one. Color. Make it red, for example. I think I like that. Hair. We start with the beginning. Yeah, no, my character's bald. Obviously not gonna keep that, but interesting to see. Need to see, I would have said. A little bit of hair, like this. A bit more. This is how my stepfather looks like, but let's not go there. That's kind of a cool color. For this specific hair, I actually like that, but let me see the other hairs. This is also nice. Yeah, I think I would prefer like a very short hairstyle for my character, actually. Okay. These are from a mod, as you can tell. Like, I mean, I tried those, but they look a bit weird, I think. Not really fitting in this art style, I would say. Yeah, let me choose this one. Yes, that's the one. Hair color. Yeah, I think red is something. Is actually very nice. Like a light red, or this is more orange, I think. This is more like brown. Yeah, let me keep this. It's like a light red. Rose. Yeah, let's keep those. Color. We have red hair, so we should also have red eyebrows. The eyes. Let me see if I can actually. Ooh, very large eyes. I'm trying to make it look like very normal. Yeah, I think that's normal enough. Yeah. Facing. That's fine. Well, eye color. Something like greenish. Yeah, that's nice. That is green, is it? I mean, I'm not colorblind, but I think that is a bit green. Keep that. For death, I'll have to see that from the side. It's more, it was more change in the forehead than the brows, but okay. Nose. A very high bridge there. Okay. Let me see how this one looks like when I watch it from It's not that bad, but I don't know. Very big tip though, yeah. Very first one. Yeah, it's nice. I would just like to have like here the bridge a bit lower. Oh, let me see the nose size. Maybe that's already going to do it. Yeah, actually that's already good enough. Okay. Right. The bridge. I think that's good. Yeah, I think that is good enough. The mouth. I think not too low, because otherwise you have the upper lip a bit too big. I mean, for now it's already a bit too big. Lip size. That's good enough, yes. Overbite. A bit too much overbite, I think. That's good, yeah. That is nice. Okay. Cheekbones. Yeah, it's not changing much, but I think actually I don't really want to change much in there. The jaw. Let me see. Ear. Ear heights. Nice neck thick. Very thick neck. But it looks weird if I do it like that, so. Not the thickest one, but it's good like that. Okay, so now we have the portraits here, which will actually be visible during gameplay on the left side, where all of our characters that we can control and that are in our party are visible. And yeah, we can change the portrait. I will play around a bit. I think to the left side is nice. Bit bigger, because we don't want to use the full. Get myself like with my hair at the edge. Up, down. Yeah, no. Only in that case, let me go a bit lower. And I think that's good. We can also change the background, which is basically just some color. Let me take the blue, right? No, wait. Oh, that's nice, yeah. And we can change the expression. Yeah, some kind of funny pictures. I'll just do it like this. It looks a bit... Is one of his eyebrows a bit higher and smiling a little bit. We don't have a generic one. We're also going to change the name of our player character. And the name will be... Wait. I forgot I have the wrong language on this keyboard. Because it's a German keyboard and I need it in English. We're gonna play as Tanu Maharia. So yeah, and as I said before, we're gonna have attribute points. We can allocate 5. Because we're an elf, we already got 2 points in willpower and magic from the race selection that we have. And I guess we get these other points from being a warrior. So what I want my character to do is, actually I would like to be a warrior with light armor, so I will put a lot in dexterity, because dexterity is also good for, well, basically it's the stamina, and I would be able to use more special attacks if my dexterity is higher. It also improves the character's chances to hit, which is also nice, and makes the character more likely to dodge incoming blows, and contributes to damage dealt by piercing weapons like daggers or arrows. Let me see, what do we have with willpower? Mental fortitude. This is basically for mages. They can cast more spells thanks to deeper mana pool. For warriors and rogues, willpower grants more stamina. Ah, it's actually this way. Okay, willpower is the stamina, so the more willpower I have, the more special attacks I can do. And dexterity is just the chance to hit. In that case, if I put a lot in dexterity, then I will be able to hit better and evade better. Strength would be the damage that I do, I guess, yeah. Remember correctly. But it's usually like this in RPG games. Yeah. Magic, well, this is just for mages. Yeah, it's the spell power, basically. Cunning is determines how well a character learns and reasons. Most skills, such as herbalism or combat tactics, require a quick mind to master. That's why we'll not be a herbalist, but one in our party will be a herbalist. So if I have a rogue, they will always become herbalists, so I can create potions of healing and so on, and mana potions and stamina potions and this kind of thing. But we ourselves are not going to put anything into cunning. Yeah. And constitution is basically your health. The more points you have in constitution, the more health points you have. So yeah, I think the most important points for my character are obviously strength and constitution, because we are a warrior, but then after that dexterity and willpower. And yeah, that's why I'm gonna put like 1 in strength, 1 in constitution, 1 in dexterity, another 1 in willpower, and 1 in strength, because for strength we get more damage output. Strength measures a character's physical prowess and directly affects the damage a character deals in physical combat. Exactly. Yeah. And let's go on. And then we have skills that we can learn and master, so to speak. These are a lot. I'll just go through them very quickly. We have coercion. The character is influential enough to convince others to change their views. Strength contributes to a more intimidating character, whereas cunning contributes to a more persuasive character. This is basically, yeah, what other games have in charisma. You actually put this into a skill called coercion. This is actually the point we're going to use, but I'm also going through the other ones. Stealing. The character is quick enough to pilfer small items from others, whether friendly or hostile, so long as they are not too alert. It's more for rogues, so not for me. So, same as trap making, I think. The character has learned to construct basic traps and lures out of common components. Survival. The character can detect the presence of nearby creatures below the character's own level. This skill also grants a small bonus to nature resistance. And if you have more points, you basically are able to see, for example, the character can detect all nearby characters no matter what's their level, and also gains a bonus to nature and physical resistance. Okay, the last part is always there, but you'll be able to see more higher level characters in proximity. And then herbalism, what I was talking before about. The character can make simple potions, poultices, and salves from common herbs, which is also another character in our party will do, because we're not gonna invest anything in there. Poison making. The character has survived the difficult learning process of making simple poisons and grenades. Combat training. The character has completed basic combat training. Warriors and rogues gain access to first tier weapon talents. Mages can take more damage from an attack before it interrupts their spellcasting. This is also something that we're gonna learn because we are a warrior and we will need that. And then combat tactics. Character can formulate strategies quickly in battle and consequently gains a combat tactic slots. Yeah, combat tactics, this is actually like mostly for other characters in our party, because we can give them rules to follow during a fight. Basically, we can give them like one rule: if this happens in the fight, do this. And yeah, this is something we're gonna need for most of the other characters, because we would have the ability, it would be possible to actually play all characters and control them in the fight, but I'd rather just control my own character in the fight. This will also make the combat easier because I don't have to pause that often and switch around the characters, so I'd rather play it like this, that everyone else gets combat tactics and I won't need it that much in here. So yeah, like as I said before, we're gonna put the first point in coercion so that we are a bit more able to convince other characters from our views. For us it would be intimidating. For characters with more cunning they would be persuasive, but we're going for intimidating. Next. And then we have talents, which is basically the attacks, the special attacks that you can do. We have the archery opened. I don't know why, because we're a warrior, but I think it's alright because everyone has like 2 fighting styles, and our second fighting style is with the bow, even though we're not going to use it that often because we are mostly fighting with we're going to fight with sword and shield mostly. Yeah, so for us important is warrior and weapon and shield. If for warrior, there would be powerful. Through training and hard work, the warrior has gained greater health and reduced the fatigue penalty for wearing armor. Fatigue penalty for wearing armor is not that important for us because we're gonna play with light armor, but still, we would need the more health. Comes to later in the game. Precise striking. The warrior tries to make each attack count, sacrificing attack speed for a bonus to attack, as well as an increased chance to score critical hits for as long as this mode is active. This is something we're gonna use probably most of the time in the beginning, because yeah, we don't have that much dexterity yet, and our hit chance is not that high. Later on, we probably don't need it as much anymore. Weapon and shield. Shield bash. The character shield bashes a target, dealing normal damage as well as knocking the target off its feet unless it passes a physical resistance check. Shield mastery doubles the strength bonus for this attack. So yeah, this is important for us in the beginning because we're gonna be pushing enemies to the ground with the shield bash so that we can attack them while they're on the ground and they cannot attack us. So this is very important, we're gonna use that, definitely. Shield defense. While this mode is active, the character drops into a defensive stance that favors the shield, gaining a bonus to defense and an increased chance to shrug off missile attacks, but taking a penalty to attack. With shield balance, the attack penalty is reduced. With shield expertise, the defense bonus increases. With shield mastery, the defense bonus increases further. Yeah, these are the higher ones, but as you can see, you need a specific level and a specific point, a specific attribute point in strength in this case. Shield block. Practice fighting with the shield improves the character's guard. Enemies can no longer flank the character on the shield carrying side. Yeah, we're also going to use that in the future, but now shield bash is important and we're going to use precise striking. As I said, we don't have that much dexterity yet, and we will need it. So, and I think we're through with the character creation. We already have over 30 minutes, but maybe I'm gonna cut out the character design that I made, because it took me a bit long there. Yeah, I think let's go into the game and press play. Yeah, we're gonna play as normal because I don't remember that much. It may be able to play on hard, but I don't want to risk it. Nightmare is too much, and easy would be too easy, I guess. So let's play normal.
You were born amidst the Dalish elves, noble wanderers who refused to join the society of humans that subjugated their homeland so long ago. The Dalish travel the land in tightly knit clans, struggling to maintain their half-forgotten lore in a human world that fears and despises them. You spend your time hunting with your clanmate Tamlin in the forests, and as is sometimes the case, your quarry is not always the local wildlife.
It's a Dalish!
And you three are somewhere you shouldn't be.
Let us pass, Elf. You have no right to stop us.
No? We will see about that, won't we?
Mm-hmm.
You're just in time. I found these humans lurking in the bushes. Bandits, no doubt.
We aren't bandits, I swear. Please don't hurt us.
You Shemlin are pathetic. It's hard to believe you ever drove us from our homeland.
We've never done nothing to you, Dalish. We didn't even know this forest was yours.
This forest isn't ours, fool. You've stumbled too close to our camp. You Shems are like vermin. We can't trust you not to make mischief. What do you say, Lethalon? What should we do with them?
Let's find out what they're actually doing here.
Does it matter? Hunting or banditry, we'll need to move camp if we let them live.
Look, we didn't come here to be trouble. We just found a cave.
Yes, a cave. With ruins like I've never seen. We thought there might be,
Treasure? So you're more akin to thieves than actual bandits.
If you've been there, shouldn't you have treasures to prove it?
But I have proof. Here, we found this just inside the entrance.
Let me see.
This stone has carvings. Is this Elvish? Written Elvish?
There's more in the ruins. We didn't get very far in, though.
Why not?
There was a demon. It was huge with black eyes. Thank the Maker we were able to outrun it.
A demon. Where is this cave?
Just off the west, I think. There's a cave in the rock face and a huge hole just inside.
Well, do you trust them? Shall we let them go?
I mean, they do seem to speak the truth. Yeah, I think I'm gonna let them live. You've frightened them enough. They won't bother us.
Run along then, Shems. And don't come back until we Dalish have moved on.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, shall we see if there's any truth to this story? These carvings make me curious.
I'm always in for some adventure. But shouldn't we inform the Keeper? Just as a background info, the Keeper is the leader of a Dalish tribe.
She might be interested in these carvings, but let's see if there's anything more before we get excited. Besides, we're already here. Now, they said it was to the west.
Okay, so let's see. We can move the camera by right-clicking and moving the mouse, but we could also move with W. And we can, W, ASD, and we can move the camera with Q and E. Yes. I have some helpers here, which I don't need for now. So, if I go for inventory, because I would like to change the fact that I have a bow on my number one weapon set, because I would like to have the bow on my number 2 weapon set, on the number 1, shield, and sword and shield, yes. We do have some extra things here, which are from DLCs that I downloaded. But I'm not going to change those yet, because we actually have a lot here. First I want to follow the story, before we do anything there. So... I have a flower here, but I cannot interact with it, so let's go on. Actually, yeah, open the map. We don't see much here because it's the beginning, yeah, but... the further we get, the more we will see on this map. Alright. Oh yeah, and this is what happens when there's an enemy in the area. I have put the settings on that it pauses automatically. I don't know what there is, so let's just go a bit further. Actually, let me put on precise striking, because that's what we're gonna have to use, yeah. Right, right click. And let's try a shield dash. Very good, very good. And then the second one. Alright. And we killed them. Let me do one thing though. I think the audio is a bit too much, at least for me. I don't know how it will be on the recording. Not the music. The music was... yeah, actually it was the music. Ah, yeah. That does a lot for the background, but yeah, let me put it like this. Let me see. I cannot loot them, but alright. Can I talk to him?
Already, let's look for this cave. They said it was to the west.
There's also a way how we can walk. We can right click on something. That hella. There would be codex update, like a codex entry about Hellas, but I'm not going to go through all of them because it would take ages. Here we have a chest, but it is actually locked. I do have a mod for this, like it's called Wire Bash, so if I don't have, the skill to open it with lock picking, I'll be able to just hit it with my sword, or actually any weapon, but we also need to have like enough skill in that, and this one is just a bit too much. I can try with him though.
Let's go.
He's also not able to do it. Alright, let's go on then. Tree stump. Brazilian forests, where the veil is so thin the difference between awake and dreaming is next to nothing. The veil is actually like a dreamland, kind of. Not really a dreamland, it's like the place where demons live. But we get to that later on as well, when we are in talks with other characters. Health poultices. You have acquired a health poultice. Go to inventory and actually this here, because we will need to heal ourselves up in the fight sometimes. This is another DLC object which I'm not going to use yet. Alright then. Elf fruits. I think you can also use elf fruit to heal yourself up. I think this is actually what you use as an ingredient to make health poultice. Elf fruits, take all. And I think this is the way to the cave. Okay, let's see.
This must be the cave. I don't recall seeing this before, do you?
No, and that worries me. We should be wary.
Always the careful one. Fine, but I'm not running back until I know there's something worth making a fuss over. Come on, let's at least see what's there. How dangerous could it be?
Well, let's see. Let's find out.